Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentleman for yielding and for all of his work to make our nation more secure. Mr. Speaker, I do rise in support today of the safety and security of the American people. As members of Congress, we have no more sacred responsibility. Thus, I rise in support of the SAFE Act. Now, I join all Americans and all the people of the world in standing with the people of Paris. And we are so sobered as to what happened to their homeland. But we are also sobered by the challenge and the grave responsibility to thwart the same evil from coming to our homeland. The director of the FBI has testified before Congress just last month that a number of people who were of serious concern were able to slip through screenings of Iraqi refugees. That's what the director of the FBI said. This disturbing information, Mr. Speaker, obviously raises very serious red flags about lapses in the security within our current refugee vetting system. Again, it is why I support, and I encourage all members to support, the American SAFE Act of 2015. It would effectively hit the pause button on the refugee program. Not the stop, but the pause button. And it's simple legislation. It simply requires more rigid standards so that the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Director of National Intelligence would positively certify that each refugee from Iraq and Syria does not pose a security threat to us, to our homeland, to our families. Otherwise, they will not be permitted to set down on American soil. It is simple, it is common sense, it is needed. Mr. Speaker, our hearts also go out to the millions of refugees forced to flee their homes and save their lives. And there's no other country in the world that has been more generous with their time and treasure to refugees than the United States of America. But today is not the day to share our territory. Not until and unless these people can be properly vetted to ensure they don't threaten our families. Mr. Speaker, hopefully the world has awakened that there is a very real threat that ISIS poses. It is not the JV team. They are not contained. And what happened in Paris was not merely a setback. I urge my colleagues to take the responsibility to secure our homeland serious. This will be the first of what I know will be many steps that this chamber will take to address the growing threats that are posed to our families and our country. And I thank the sponsors of the legislation for bringing it to the floor. I urge all my colleagues to adopt it. I yield back the balance of my